Well, you can blame me for the loss. I'm taking notes. And of course, in the third period, I write down happy recap for my first one. And then it all goes to heck. Hey, everybody, this is Rangers Daily. I'm Todd Werwa, your host. Quite an eventful evening at Madison Square Garden as the Rangers fall to Boston 5-4 in overtime. Rangers went down early, 1-0, but then came back 44 seconds later on a goal from Trey Fix-Wolanski. I'm telling you, I think Dave Maloney called him Smith and Walensky at one point. But little guy scored the goal, 1-1. We head to the second. Rangers score 3 in the second, one by Gabe Perreault, one by Sam Carrick, and then a shorthanded goal by Vlad Gavrikov. So Rangers take a 4-1 lead into the third period. But let's talk about just how much they dominated those first two periods. It was 4-1 after two. They outshot Boston 16-7 in the second period. Igor played 30 minutes. He looked good. He stopped 10 of 11 shots. Looked good. Even had one go off the mask, maybe about there. He didn't look flustered, but he was looking at the mask to see if there was a dent in it. But it looked good. He made it through. He played, like I said, about half the game. Looked really good, as Igor should. Interesting defensive pairings in front of him. So you never quite know as a goalie what you're going to get in terms of proper defensive positioning. But he looked good. Chances for the Corsi metric through two periods, Rangers were up 46-30. So they created, 46 shot attempts to 30 for Boston. And then it all fell apart. Well, let's go positive. Then it turned into a learning experience for Mike Sullivan and his young players. So Boston outshot them 20-7 in terms of chances, shot attempts for and against. They drove 74% of the play. It looked like young players trying to figure out how to close out a game, what they need to do against a team that played pretty heavy. Boston plays a tough game. That's the way they want to play under Marco Sturm. Zadorov threw his body around, that's for sure. Hustadinov threw his body around. And they came back and with the empty net, tied it at 4. A power play. Sam Carrick, Adam Fox made a bad pass to give up a 2-on-1, and then there was some skirmish after the play. With 14 seconds left, Sam Carrick got called for a cross-check penalty, put the Rangers slightly on a disadvantage there at the end of regulation, and of course a 4-on-3 power play in the overtime. Rangers could not get out of their zone. They couldn't win a face-off, and they wound up killing off the power play. But then real nice pass to Zadorov, who circled around, brushed off Matthew Robertson, circled around, and scored the winning goal, 5-4 OT. They wanted to get out of there quick. No one really wants to play overtime in the preseason. I am wearing a Cape Cod shirt. It is not because we played Boston. It is not because we lost to Boston. But now I feel bad and I feel guilty that I'm wearing a Cape Cod shirt. But so be it. No, my allegiance lies in the New York area. My allegiance lies with the New York Rangers. So that's we'll call it now the unhappy recap. We'll call it the learning experience recap. Mike Sullivan will definitely get his troops a little teaching experience. I think it's probably a good thing. And for some of the young guys, there are really 3 youngsters that are competing for one roster spot. They're Brett Berard, Brendan Othman, and Gabe Perreault. And they each had good moments during the game. Berard looked good early. He circled around, got a shot, then he tracked back, put a hit on Patra. He made a real nice pass to Fix-Wolanski for his goal. He tracked the puck back. Sully really liked the pass. Then he looked pretty good on power play too. Othman had one sequence where you got to show the coach you want to play. You lay your body on the line. And he blocked 2 different shots and took a hit on Kustadinov. But the blocks, he blocked one, got up, took one in the upper body. It was tough. But he did the job, and that's what you want to see. That's the way he says he plays, is tough, two-way, 200-foot game. And that's what he's going to need to show if he wants to earn what's likely this one spot, probably on the third line. And then Gabe Perreault, he scored. Again, he looks really comfy on line one with Parsonen and Cooley. Now, obviously, I don't think that'll be the line because I think they want Cooley higher in the line. But that might be line three, Cooley, Parsonen, and potentially Perreault. He scored for the second game in a row, came off the bench with his head up, took a nice pass from Cooley, went in and scored. About 4 minutes left in the second. I mentioned Zadorov threw his weight around. One of the hits was on Gabe Perreault, and he crushed him, like took us over tea kettle. It was quite a hit. But he got up, he got back in the play. He wound up getting a shot. The bench loved it. He came back to the bench with a big smile on his face. It's one of those like, oh, that was awesome kind of plays. And the guys on the bench love it. Sullivan loved it. That's the kind of stuff that gets noticed. That line, Parsonen, Cooley, and Perreault, they played together 11:58 tonight. They're chances for 16-10. They drove 61% of the play. In high danger chances, they out high danger chanced when they were on the ice 6-2. So it's a good line, and it may have some chemistry developing. We shall see. It's only preseason game 2. But the three of those guys, Parsonen, Cooley, and Gabe Perreault, already making a mark just very quickly into training camp in the preseason. Our third topic, we move from the forwards to the defense. And Vlad Gavrikov and Adam Fox were paired together for the first time. They each had their interesting moments. As I mentioned earlier, Gavrikov scored a shorthanded goal. Noah Laba made a great strip and pass. He had a couple of assists tonight. He's looked really good. I think he's got 3 points in the preseason. He went to Colorado College, and he just looks like he's picked up right where he left off in college. As for the pairing of Gavrikov and Fox, they looked a little shaky at the start. They're still getting to know each other. Listen, Fox played with Ryan Lindgren for years. They know each other. They have chemistry. They knew, everything about what the other one would do. And we're only talking 5-on-5 here. There was one moment where Fox made a pass to Gavrikov, who was kind of behind him, and Gavrikov kicked it all up to his stick and kept moving forward. It looked nice. They settled down after that. It looked like they got comfortable, I guess you could say, or made at least the start of a comfort zone. Fox didn't look great on the power play. There was only one. Gave up a shorthanded goal. He stopped. He sort of lost his momentum, stopped, didn't have anywhere to get the puck. Gabe Perreault came over to try and take it, but kind of waved at it. Mikey Eisemont wound up taking the puck and going in and scoring. That made it 4-3. There was another bad pass with about 20 left that Fox made. Even Maloney called him out on it. Just a soft pass that allowed a 2-on-1 break the other way with 20 left. Wound up 14 seconds. The save was made, but then the pushing and shoving, Carrick got called for the penalty. It was just, we're trying to see Adam Fox to step back up and be the Norris contender that he has been, as opposed to trending downward like he did last year. And those kind of plays where he stops and doesn't have anybody to give the puck to, or he makes a pass, probably thought the clock was ticking down and could just, lay it off. Instead, you gotta play to the whistle, and you gotta make a pass with a purpose. You hear coaches say it all the time. Pass with a purpose. Put the puck behind defensemen. Put the puck along the boards. Don't just hope. Don't make a hope pass. Pass it with a purpose. And he did not do that late in regulation, and it nearly cost the Rangers the game, giving up a shorthanded opportunity, and then the Rangers wound up losing. So a mixed bag for the Gavrikov-Fox pairing, but we'll see. It's just the start. They'll get to know their strengths and weaknesses and how to cover for each other and all of that as it goes along. And finally, one last nugget here. We put this one past us. Thursday, a home and home starts with the Islanders. It's, I believe, Thursday, and then Tuesday, could get a chance to see Matthew Schaefer, the number 1 overall pick for the Islanders. He's gotten very, very, very high plaudits for how he's been in training camp. A lot of the veterans talk about how good his speed looks, how good his comfort level looks, how good he's handling pressure. You know, a lot of the veteran Islanders really like what Schaefer's doing. So it'll be interesting which game. I would assume we'd see him in the game at UBS and maybe even at the game at Madison Square Garden. But the first one, have a feeling that's where we'll see him, at UBS. And we'll see. Islanders Rangers is always good. We should see more veterans coming into the lineup. But we get a home and home starting with the Islanders on Thursday. We can quickly brush this Madison Square Garden disaster. Learning experience, put it past us. So that's it for Rangers Daily. Remember, below, subscribe, ring the bell to get updates. I've got all your news, all your notes, your recaps, your previews, and we'll have a whole lot of fun. So Rangers Daily, again, I'm Todd Werwa. Please subscribe below, and thanks for watching.